Hello, warriors. Welcome to the You movement. That being said, there is not much movement going on today or yesterday. I promised that I would come to you and report to you what an awakening is really like, and this is sometimes what it's like. I am experiencing extreme spiritual exhaustion, just a level of exhaustion I can't even describe. It's not just that my body is devoid of energy or emotionally I am drained. It is that I am soul tired. Soul tired. This is not my comfort zone. This is not where I'd like to be. I resist, but have had to learn to take my own advice. Because if any of you got in touch with me and said to me, I can't get out of bed, I'm having aches and pains, I'm feeling overwhelmed, I'm purging, what I would say to you is rest. Rest and rest some more, and let go of the guilt and the pressure to do. I'm not always good at taking my own advice. It's far easier to be in laughing, jovial, fun times, pulling cards and cracking jokes. But that is not a depiction of a true awakening. A true awakening has times of brutal pain. I'm experiencing a good bit of physical pain at the moment. My tooth is flared. My lower back is a little bit achy. Just generally, I feel ick. My breathing is slow. And I know that this is not all mine. Because, and so that's what I wanted to talk a little bit about, is being an empath, being clairsentient, I absorb and pick up on the vibe of the tribe. And so that's why often people would say to me, oh my God, it's like you just described my life. Or, oh my God, that's exactly how I feel right now. That's exactly what I'm going through right now. It's because I pick it up and my mind would like to make believe that it is all mine and give it reasons, when in reality, it is the collective. Now, anybody who's been on the spiritual path has heard the term, we are all one. Yes. Well, what does that even mean? Well, the more we go into this ascension process, the more all is one is less of a philosophy or an ideology and more of a reality. We are so interconnected, and we don't understand how we influence and affect each other. A couple years back, while I was deep in meditation, I had this vision given to me of when Jesus said, "Forgive them, Father, they know not what they do." And I'm sure that was in reference to something else, but what was given to me, the message was given to me, was the lack of awareness that people have on this interconnected journey that we find ourselves on. And if you're a twin flame, you'll resonate with this even more. Because twins share the same energetic frequency. And so that's why people talk about with their twin flame, this merging energy and feeling or picking up on what is happening with their twin. But really, we are not just connected to a twin, we are connected to our tribe. So when I talk about soul tribe, I'm not just talking about camaraderie or a feeling of profound friendship, which certainly comes with it, a deep, profound understanding and a reciprocal energy and feeling heard, feeling seen, feeling understood. And that's because we are connecting not just on the 3D level of conversation, but we are connecting on a 5D comparable energy of similar experience, similar understandings, and similar levels of awareness. And so it feels profound because it somewhat seems new, but what it is in actuality is the veil of separateness disintegrating. And so we begin to develop higher and higher frequency connections wherein we are feeling what others are feeling. And so on this awakening journey that I've had, this crazy twin flame journey, this Kundalini Awakening, I went from being an empath with some clairsentience as a Reiki master to like full blast. I feel what others feel. And that's not just in the physical, but in the emotional. And so I see the interconnectedness of all, which makes me know that not everything I am experiencing is mine. It is others. And I have profound love and compassion for all of humanity because of this level of awareness. And so I try to send out messages of hope, of inspiration, of tools and techniques to help you heal, because I feel the suffering. I feel the fear. And right now, I am absolutely bedridden because the overwhelming fear that is happening in the collective with this hurricane that's coming towards Florida, and with the angst and anguish with everything, all the secrets and the darkness being exposed, and that can be in your personal life or on the collective level. What is happening is we are going through such deep, profound shifts and changes that our reality of thinking once upon a time we were just a solitary, singular person, and that our actions had no influence on others, or our thoughts for that matter, or our feelings. Now we're understanding that energetically there are cords, there are connections, and that when people do think, say, be in certain energies, it has rippling effects out to not only their immediate people, but the society as a whole, family, and rippling out. And so we're going through a process of not only individuation, but as also collective combining. So we may feel the need to pull away from certain peoples because the energies of those peoples, whether they be family, partners, friends, businesses, is so toxic that you can't even tolerate it. You get nauseous, you get headaches, you get anxiety, you get fears just being in the company, being in the same room. So that's a process of individuation, of pulling yourself away and protecting self, clearing your energy, doing the work. As well as the fact is when we pull ourselves away, we understand more and more that we are still connected to a whole bunch of different energies on the spiritual realm. You know, people talk a lot about the 5D. What is the 5D? It's a parallel dimension that's happening at the same time as this one. So even though in this particular dimension, you may pull away and protect your energies from somebody, from having to talk to them, from having to deal with them, and cut off family members. On the 5D, those connections are still active. And that's where you hear about meditative practices like cutting cords and shielding and clearing. And so this morning, a dear friend sent me an audio clip to help me clear some of this energy, because it's so much, it's debilitating to me. And I've been listening all day to this as I've just laid here in and out of prayer and meditation and sleep, and prayer and meditation and sleep. And I'm going to probably upload that for all of you guys out there. She gave me permission to do so because it's a very useful tool. So I wanted to talk a little bit about this understanding that on the 5D level, there's exchanges of information happening all the time once you have a connection with somebody. And those connections, you may not be mentally aware of what is being exchanged, but there is a continual flow of information being exchanged. And how I see that is we are more and more coming into collective mind. And Carl Jung talked about this in regards to the collective consciousness. And so that veil of separateness between I am a separate body, but I'm not a separate mind. I'm not a separate spirit. I'm not separate. There is no separation. So yes, on the 3D, we need to learn to minimize, and that is actually the best thing that you can do, is to minimize contact with toxic people. Because in not minimizing you're enabling their behavior and their thinking that they're not having effects on you. And so when you pull away, it forces them to sit in their own toxicity and their own energies, and will help facilitate their growth. Now, it might not happen in the time that you would like it to happen. You've probably been pleading and begging for you to be heard, seen, and understood for years or decades. But the best thing for them, as well as you, is to create distance, to create a vacuum where they can be in their own energies and start their own process. That's the kindest thing you can do. I wish I had known that lesson much earlier. I would have walked away from situations, people, and even jobs much sooner. Because we have this program called loyalty, obligation, responsibility. All of those programs are at play that keep us embedded into situations that it would be for the betterment of all concerned to have a breather, a time out, space. So if you are struggling right now, as a lot of people are that have gotten in touch with me, with trying to pull yourself out of toxic relationships and toxic family situations, and are dealing with overwhelm because of those toxic situations as empaths, as light workers, as starseeds, with your physical body being exhausted, emotionally being exhausted, spiritually being exhausted, then the mission for us all right now is to allow ourselves the time that we need to sit in our own sadness of those losses, our own grief, and sit in our own energy as well, so that we can identify what is playing in us that keeps us going back and accepting and tolerating things we shouldn't be tolerating. Because what you will find is what's in place for us are perhaps things like a savior complex, people pleasing, codependency. And all of these energies are keeping us enmeshed in unhealthy ways. So we need to become unmeshed so that on the higher realms, we can clear out the toxic connections, clear out the toxicity. So you aren't losing people in higher realms, but you are losing people perhaps in the 3D, and that hurts. So allow your 3D avatar time to grieve, time to sit in it. Awakenings are exceptionally hard because our reality as we knew it, our feeling separate and singular, begins to melt away, and our understanding of interconnectedness is not something that necessarily you just are in a high vibe of everything's beautiful, everything's wonderful. No, it comes through all of those emotions that need to be felt and experienced and released. You have to feel the sadness and feel the anger that maybe is attached. You have to feel the loneliness and feel the compassion at a distance, at a safe distance. I have absolute compassion for everyone because everyone is suffering. In many ways, we are the creators of our own suffering. Yes, we have all experienced trauma and horrific situations that we shouldn't have experienced. And if you need help processing through that, I'm going to recommend again you watch my video, Reparenting Through Difficult Emotions, as a tool that you can use to help you process, to help you feel safe and secure while you purge, while you release, while you are letting this stuff go. It is a very difficult process, and we are in very difficult energies right now. And the collective is fearful, and the collective is lonely. But we're not alone. You are not alone. If all you can muster is sitting up and, reading a book for a day, then you're doing your job. You're doing warrior work. Sitting in it, being it, is the work. You are hard at work. This is me, hard at work. And my mind doesn't like it, and my mind wants to get back into the habitual behaviors that the matrix says is valuable activities. And my mind, my critic, would define this as failure. But spiritually, there is so much happening when you're asleep. There is so much happening when you're resting. Your DNA, all your body functions while you're in this state are so busy. So busy. Your immune system is busy. Your blood is busy. All the little molecules and microorganisms and everything else is so busy. So let them be busy while you are resting. And make sure to have plenty of fluids as you are going through these deep changes and shifts. I find fasting much easier. It's what my body wants when I'm having days like this. I've gone through many cycles of this at this stage. And I find fasting with plenty of herbal teas is what keeps me going. And my body will tell me when it's time to get up, and then I'm going to eat a quite carb heavy meal to kind of compensate. But for the time being, I don't want to add digestion to what all the other busy is going on, all the other clearing, all the big stuff that's being shifted out. I'm currently been clearing, standing up for myself, speaking truths, obligations, listening to intuition. Everybody is doing some hard-hitting warrior work right now. And so I just wanted to do a shout out and make sure that you know that even in this, you are doing profound warrior work. And I am proud of you. I also wanted to say thank you so much for some of the comments that I have received lately, encouraging me to continue to speak my truth. And, I've been called things lately like brave, like courageous. And I want to say just a small little something about both of those energies, because I don't feel brave. I don't feel courageous. I don't feel successful most days. I feel fear. So I want to be truthful about that, because bravery is not a feeling. Bravery is feeling terrified, but making action steps anyways. It's speaking the truths anyways. It's writing the emails anyways. It's getting up and saying, no, I'm not going to take this anymore anyways. That's what bravery is. Bravery is doing it anyways, despite feeling terror, despite feeling anxiety or any of these other things. So I greatly appreciate all these comments. It means the absolute world to me, beyond what you could possibly fathom. And I want you to know that if I can do it, you can do it. Because as I started this video, we are all connected. So all I am is a mirror of what you are. If we are connected, anything that you see in me that you think, wow, I wish I was like that, is exactly what you are. With that said, I'm sending you all my absolute love. If you are struggling, do not struggle in silence. Book a one-on-one with me. We can set up a Zoom call. All of my services are donation-based. You can get in touch with me via Be Freedom on Facebook, Messenger. You can get in touch with me through the Spiritual Warrior Support Group, or you can get in touch with other spiritual warriors on that support group. You can send me an email at justbebeing@gmail.com. I look forward to connecting with you on the 3D, because I'm already connecting with you on the 5D. With that said, peace out.